Hey, this is Andrew Brown. In this video, we're going to take a look at utilizing EC2 Instance Connect, which allows us to use short-lived SSH keys controlled by IAM policies. So what we're going to do is go ahead and launch a new EC2 instance that we're going to want to connect to. So I'm going to go ahead and just launch a new one. So we'll name this EC2 Instance Connect. And I'm going to specify Amazon Linux 2023. We're going to do T2 micro. And should we use a key pair? I'm thinking about it. No, I'm not going to use a key pair here because we are going to generate out an SSH key that we're going to temporarily use. We do need to have SSH traffic open, so I do need to create a new security group. I'm going to call this one EC2 Instance Connect SG. And so that is sufficient enough for us to establish our connection. Let's go ahead and launch this instance. Okay, and we'll just wait until it is ready, okay? All right, let's take a look here and check on its status. So it looks like it is up. Let's go ahead and connect. And this time what I'm going to do is go to EC2 Instance Connect. So it says connect using the EC2 Instance Connect. And by the way, that is a piece of software that has to be installed on the EC2 instance. If you're using the Amazon Linux 2023, it's already pre-installed. If we were using something else, we might have to do a bit of work to get that installed. But notice that we have this, or we can use a Connect endpoint. So there are a couple of different ways that we can do this. But let's go take a look at this one. And so simply we're going to do is go hit connect. And I believe that should just connect. Okay, but I need to make clear that it is using SSH in order to establish that connection. So even though you don't see it, it is downloading an SSH key and utilizing it somewhere. But we didn't have to do anything fancy, but we are here. Let's go type who am I, and notice that we are already immediately the EC2 user. So that is one way to establish that connection. I'm going to go ahead here and just disconnect. We'll just type in exit to log out of that connection. We'll go back over to here. And I'm not very familiar with this one. Let me just take a look here. So as far as I understood is that if you wanted to connect, you don't need an endpoint per se, but only endpoints that have completed the creation process can be selected. So I guess this is if you want to utilize a VPC endpoint from a private IPv4 address. We're not going to do that today. What I want to do is connect using SSH. And so the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to go ahead and go over to GitHub. And I'm going to need a kind of environment to work in. So I'm going to use Gitpod if it decides to work today for me. Sometimes it is a bit problematic. But I'm going to go ahead and establish a connection here with GitHub or Gitpod. I'm going to spin up a new instance. You could use anything you want, your local machine, GitHub code spaces, wherever you have control over SSH. But what we're going to need is an established connection to this EC2 instance. So I'm going to go ahead here and type in AWS STS get caller identity because I don't know who I am right now in this account. And I might have already established some AWS credentials here, and it shows AWS example as a user. So what I have done here is I've established a connection by creating an IAM user here. Let's go over to that user. So say IAM user, and I'm just going to set those the username and password in case you don't remember. We do that a lot in some videos, but in the EC2 section, not so much. So just in case we haven't done it yet, I just want to go ahead and do that. So under our users, I have an AWS examples, and I have some credentials. I'm going to go down here below. I'm just going to deactivate and delete the existing ones. Okay. Delete. And we'll do that. And I'm going to go ahead and generate new credentials, not for code commit. I want this to be for access keys. There we go. And we'll just say command line interface. And yes, I will not abuse my own stuff. Go ahead and hit create. And so we need to set those. I'm going to look up AWS access keys. AWS access keys and vars. I never remember what they are. And so over here in Gitpod, I'm just going to make a scratch pad really quickly. And I'm going to grab these three here, paste them in, say allow. and I want to export, but I also want to do GPENV, which is specific for Gitpod. Different environments have different things. I show you in different videos, so if you want to know how, you'll have to look that up for those other ones. So I'm going to go ahead here and just clear these ones out. Say central 1. I'm going to expose my keys here, but I am going to rotate them out at the end of this video, so it's not going to matter. But I'm going to go ahead and paste this one in here and paste this one in here. And I'm going to double quotation this because just with access keys, I always find that I have trouble with them if I don't do that. There can be breaking characters in the here, like forward or backslash and stuff like that. So you really do want to wrap these. So go ahead and copy and paste. And that looks fine to me. I'm not sure why it's highlighting wrong, but I don't think it matters. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the first bunch and do copy and paste and hit enter. And then I grab the second bunch, copy, paste, and enter. And I'm going to type in clear. I'm going to do AWS STS get caller identity. It should still be the same user. I typed identity wrong. I always type identity wrong. Get caller identity. There we go. And so I'm established to this one. This user has admin access, so they have full permissions to do everything. So I imagine they're not going to have much trouble connecting. In order to establish connection, we need a way of pushing an SSH key. So what I'm going to do is go to AWS, we'll say AWS EC2 connect. This is connect. I have a feeling the blog probably tells us how to do this. Does this one do it? This one is not the one I'm looking for. Maybe this one. There we go. And yeah, so here we need to generate a new key. So I'm going to grab this command. Very common command to have to know. And just by the way, I closed out my scratch pad. I really don't want to commit anything here by accident, so just make sure you do that. I'm going to go here and just say EC2 connect. I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to hit enter again. I'm going to hit enter again. And so now I have this key. Notice that it is here. We really do not want to commit this. So just be careful that we remove these at the end here. So the next thing is, yeah, we need to use this command called send SSH public key. So if we go over here to the docs, I'm going to go over to the new ones here. We go down to examples. What this is going to do is it's going to temporarily push our SSH key to the instance. And that way we're going to be able to, then you'll be able to actually log into that instance. So here, look at this as the following sends an SSH public key example, sends the specified SSH public key to the specified instance. Okay. But how would it know about the private key? Oh, because we would have the private key. That's right. All right, that makes sense. So let me just think about that for a moment. Who has the private key? The server should have the private key, right? And then we send the public key as a confirmation. So how's this going to work if it doesn't have the private key? Give me just a moment, okay? All right, maybe we are specifying the private key in the SSH connection. The public key gets sent there, and I'm just getting mixed up here. But whatever. Let's just go ahead and follow along, and this should technically work, right? So we'll go ahead and just grab this command here as we're going to be working with it. Might as well get the one that is here. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I suppose we grab this one. It is a little bit more tidy. So go ahead and paste this in here, and let's just take a look at what we have. So we need the instance ID. We'll go here and just make sure we grab the one that is running. Good. And we'll replace this. We are EC2 user for this one. That is good. This is in CA Central 1. But the question is, what exact AZ is it in? So go to networking here, 1A Central. So go back over to here and say 1A. And then we have this pub file. So we'll just say EC2 connect. I'm going to line up the next line, the next command that we have to run here. So we'll go back to this one. And we'll grab this. We'll paste it in below. And we could actually use the IP address if we like instead of the DNS host name. It depends on what you want to do. I am going to grab the public IP address because it's shorter. We'll paste that in here. And then here we're just specifying EC2 connect. I feel like we'd have to chmod that file. So usually you have to do that and say 400 is what they usually tell you to do. So if we go EC2 connect, I think we have to do for that file, for our private key, I think. And we'll go ahead. Well, actually, let's go back and take a look here. It would tell us right here. Yeah, it is, right? Yeah. Okay. And we do use the private key. Okay. I was getting it mixed up. Sometimes I get things backwards. So I'm going to go back over to here and we'll go ahead and copy this command and hopefully it just works. Fingers crossed. There we go. And they said like 60 seconds. So we got to go really quick here. We'll go ahead and establish connection. We'll say yes to the fingerprint. And we're in, so there you go. So that is how you can use EC2 Instance Connect. Let's close this stuff out. I do not want to save any of this environment, so I'm just going to say stop this workspace. And let's go ahead and tear down this instance. We'll terminate that, and while I'm here, I might as well rotate these out very quickly. And I will see you in the next one. Ciao.